Well, this is being recorded on Christmas Day 2014 to mark the fact that it's 4 years ago this very week that I became an author, well, an author of a printed book, that is, having spent the best part of 50 years as a journalist writing for various magazines. But 4 years ago, the original version of this book, called Really Saying Something, appeared from the presses. For various reasons we won't go into here, been republished, and Soul Citizen is now on the shelves and available from your local dealers and all web dealers. Soul Citizen by yours truly, Clive R, Clive Richardson. As the subtitle says, Tales and Travels from the Dawn of the Soul Era to the Internet Age, and talks about my experiences in the 1960s collecting records in London as a teenager, and experiencing the growth of soul music in the UK with the arrival of the Motown sound, and then the Stax Review, and the growth through the 1960s and 70s. My emergence as a fledgling soul journalist with the Don Kobe fan club and the magazine I produced for that. Then getting together with people like Tony Cummings, Dave McAleer, John Philibert, Bill Miller in the soul fanzine world of the mid-1960s, to produce Soul Music magazine first, then that became Shout magazine from 1966 through to 74, and moving on to work at Black Wax Records in the 1970s in record retailing, and catching up with live shows through that time as US artists coming to tour, doing the club circuit and the like, and catching up with people in record companies getting commissions to do sleeve notes for vinyl LPs in the 1970s with Nigel Grange at Phonogram and the late Leon Campidelli at Phonogram, guest spots on various radio shows in the 70s, then treks to the USA, my first trips to New Orleans in 1979, and then through 6 or 7 years with the 1980s, first with Leslie Stanford with the Honky Tonk trips, and then with Nancy Covey and Louise, whose second name escapes me for the moment, with the festival tours trip, going to the States and meeting some superb people in the New Orleans area, travelling in the second year with John Brogan while John was doing research for his book South to Louisiana, and carrying the manuscript for that very book back to the States the following year. Trips along with people including Paul Harris and Phil Reeves and countless others. My trips into radio with the pirate radio days of 1979, yes, 35 years on air as of New Year's Eve 2014, having started in New Year's Eve 1979 with JFM radio and Solar radio, and then on to RTM radio in the legal days, Millennium radio in the 1990s with Rodney Collins, John Lucas, Dave Lockwood and the like. Then Solar radio is its incarnations first on Sky Analog in 1999-2000, then on Sky Digital, and then onto the internet with solarradio.com to this very day. And at that time also excursions into the world of label manager for Shout Records with Mark Stratford. There's some 80 records in the catalogue to date, and then on to the more recent couple of years to Fantastic Voyage Records, Shirin Kuyar and Lorne Murdoch with some public domain reissues. But all of that is chronicled in Soul Citizen, Tales and Travels from the Dawn of the Soul Era to the Internet Age, with yours truly, Clive R, Clive Richardson, available at Amazon Books, through Lulu.com and all good web dealers. Thanks for your time. Thanks. Have a happy Christmas for this year, and have a great 2015, and I'll no doubt be talking to you again soon, either on Facebook or YouTube or wherever. Bye for now.